the more effective and impactful we are, the more it allows us the opportunity to do the work that we really about.
Right.
The young cats at Long, Cream, Carver. Now we could go, hey bro, we finna get a bus, let's go to DC, to the museum.
Yeah.
Or we gonna do a college tour this summer. Like to really, you know what I'm saying, do all the stuff that we already doing, but just on a larger, greater scale, and help even more of these young cats to open up more doors for them to see stuff that cats from where we from don't get to see every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it, you know, and that's sort of, not sort of, that was the vision, you know, even when we first started. When we first started just thinking about this, talking about it, was part of the end is to be able to move young people in such a way to offer them experiences, offer them opportunities that they wouldn't normally have.
No doubt.
That's what this is really, you know, that's the real why behind all of this, and what other people get as a result of these conversations and these episodes and whatnot. That's great, and we're so grateful for it.
Inky Johnson, Oak, going for the championship, that ain't coming close. This might require taking notes, homie, listen close. Serendipity when you know you the one who chose. We going past the end zone, crushing every goal. I feel it in my enzymes, in my chromosomes. If you ain't come outside to go hard, then go back home. I'm in my zone, if it ain't great, it's better left alone. This for the world, put what we speaking on speakerphone. Yeah, Wills, let them know what we be on. Serendipity, man, tune in.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to another episode of Serendipity. I'm Inky Johnson here with my brother.
I'm Oak. What's happening, good people? Glad that you can tune in today.
Yes, indeed.
How you feeling, boss?
I'm good, Oak. I'm good, man. Doing good, spirit in a good place, man. Was talking to my son today just about life and processing, and when does he think like he's operating at the optimal level? And he was like, Dad, I feel like I operate at the optimal level when my mind is clear and I'm just flowing. I was like, man, that's pretty good. Like, so my mind is clear, man. I'm in a decent space, man. How you feeling, man?
I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always carrying joy. Always carrying joy. Just thinking about, you know, events over the past few weeks. Before we go forward, man, I just want to speak to and offer my love, my energy to Cartersman, Cojack Bryant, brother, you in my heart.
Yes, indeed.
Your family. We all know the atrocities that have happened, and to all of parents who may have had to bury their kids. You know, that's probably the toughest thing to do in the world. Cartersman, we called him Cojack, was one of my teammates as a little league. And you know, he unfortunately, his son was gunned down.
Yeah.
And I know you were recently in Columbus, heard about it and whatnot. And so I just want to say, brother, we from the Serendipity family, from Oak Fanous and everyone, the production crew,
yes,
we
sir.
send you our love, our energy, definitely our prayers.
Definitely, man. Condolences and prayers, man. It's interesting, Oak, man. Like when you hear about things like that, and of course that happened down your way. Like I would like to think in terms of just with the work you do and been doing, with that happening close to home, like what was your thought process, or like how did it hit your spirit when it first landed on you?
When one of my best friends in life, Reggie, he called me Sunday morning and told me about it, right? Told me what happened. I cussed him out. Like it was anger.
Yeah.
And he knew I wasn't cussing him out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was frustrating because this is not the the first time, this is not the second time, this is not the third time, this is not the fourth time that this foolishness has been happening. And I want you to understand that being from a rural place in West Central Georgia, the taking of lives was never part of our even paradigm of thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's talking mess, it's joning, it's fighting. I mean, violence was just not part of our even ethos. It was just not part of our thought. You know, having been in the city, been in Atlanta, and having buried a few of my students and players that I've coached, so I understand that part.
Right on.
But the psychological part of violence, where I grew up,
right,
it is disturbing.
Yeah.
Like psychologically and emotionally disturbing.
Yeah, man.
You know, you don't grow up watching that. You don't expect that. You grow up, you know, swatting off mosquitoes. You grow up picking plums.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Running through the woods.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. Nah. So it was a psychological and emotional blow.
Yeah, man.
And with it being that close to home, and it keeps getting closer and closer. I'm not fearful of it, just trying to understand it and get in front of, with the help of other leaders down there, get in front of what is it that we can do to right this ship of the foolishness that's going on.
Yes, indeed, man. Picking that up. Of course, you said I was speaking in Columbus, man, and they brought in busloads of kids, man. And of course, they mentioned an incident that happened with the young man, you know, losing his life. And it was like we're bringing in kids from the community because we feel like they just need to be in this environment. And man, it was so beautiful, Oak. Like somebody got up on stage and they just said, can the pastors, the educators, community leaders, the parents, the coaches, can y'all stand up tonight that brought the kids here? And there was a lot of kids in that room. Like it was thousands. And it was probably even more in terms of the village.
Yes.
That stood up behind them. I was like, man, that was so beautiful and powerful, man. And I said, sometimes as a young person, you could be so busy living your life and doing your thing that you're not always cognizant of the people that are behind you, beside you, doing the journey with you, and that's fighting for you, you know? And I said, man, just look around. I told the young people, just look around, man. All the people that are here tonight, nobody had to be there.
Right.
Like, nobody was made to come. Like, everybody made the decision to come and to bring these kids there. And I was like, man, this is incredible. And one of the kids asked me when I was leaving, I was headed to the hotel and I was getting ready to get in my car, head back to Atlanta, little girl. So she's like, hey. So I was like, what up? She said, hey, come here. Right? She had on a little knee brace. And I noticed she had on a knee brace. So I jogged over to her. I was like, what's up? What happened? She said, I told my ACL, man. I told my ACL. And she said, what made you come here tonight? Like, what made you come down here to Columbus tonight? I said, I came because somebody went to bat for me, just like these people going to bat for y'all. I said, I came because I'm a product of the spirit of the sacrifices that the people are making to pour into this community. I'm a product of that spirit.
Yes, sir.
You, mom, pops, educators, coach, I'm a product of that spirit, man. And so the least I could do is show up, you know? And so, yeah, man, I'm picking that up. Oh. Let's get into it, man, with this quote card. And it reads, lessons. Some people come in your life as a blessing. Others come in your life as lessons. Some people come in your life as blessings. Other people come in your life as lessons. Yes, indeed.
The blessings that we receive is sort of like what you were saying. Sometimes you don't understand the blessings until way after the fact. Right?
Yes, indeed.
Sometimes you're able to pick it up right now. The lessons, you know, as a parent, as a coach, as a teacher, or whomever with young people, you you're doing a disservice if you're not teaching lessons, right? Intentional about teaching a lesson, right? I remember oftentimes I would come home to my grandmama's house. That would be the first place we would go to, right? And the first question she asked was, "Did you get your lesson today?" As I've gotten older, I understand what she meant by that. She didn't say, "Did you do your work today?" The first question was, "Did you get your lesson today?" Which to me, bigger picture wise, every day we get a chance to see the sun, every day we get a chance to put our feet on the floor, there is a lesson that we must ascertain in order to grow and get better. Now, if we don't get that lesson, it's gonna come back.
Repeat
right?
itself.
It's going to repeat itself. And then in terms of the blessings, whatever you may feel blessings are, some people may feel blessings are financial. Some people may feel blessings are getting a car or getting a house. Some people may feel blessings are people coming into their lives, whatever it may be. The catch of it is, though, the lesson and the blessing eventually become cyclical, and you can't determine the difference between was that the lesson or the blessing.
Teach, oh.
Right? That's the whole point. It's not a linear process or duality process here where you got a lesson over here and a blessing over here. It's cyclical. The blessing becomes the lesson, and the lesson becomes the blessing, and it continues and continues and continues.
Yes.
So my takeaway from that is understand that your lesson and your blessing is essentially the same thing.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad you spoke about that, because oftentimes I'll be like, man, the lesson and the blessing based upon the perspective that we have and how we see things, right? And I want to say this, man, I was writing as you was talking. Oftentimes, if it doesn't go our way, we don't see it as a blessing, right? If something happens, an experience, if it doesn't go the way we want it to go, oftentimes we don't consider that to be a blessing. But some of the greatest blessings in our lives are things that didn't turn out or work out the way that we wanted it to, right? I know personally, right? My arm got paralyzed. I never thought I would be doing what one of the greatest blessings of my life, right, was in the midst of redirection. And so if we can put our perspective and our perception in such a place that when it doesn't go our way, because we know what to do when it goes our way, but when it doesn't go our way, not only what is the lesson in it, like what's the blessing in it, right? Some of the greatest blessings are things that don't work out or didn't go as planned. That's why I called it serendipity, oh?
Yeah.
Because oftentimes when we would see a person at a certain destination or see somebody working in their purpose, when I was a young man, I would think, man, they had to always want to do that, right? That person teaching, that person speaking, that person like corporate America, that person, they had to always want to do that. And then when you ask them, hey man, how did you start doing what you're doing? Like, how did this happen? And then they go down the rabbit hole. No, man, I was trying to do this. Then this happened. I got redirected to this. I was talking to a pastor last night. I was like, man, this is a beautiful facility. Like, how did this happen? Like, how did you become a pastor? You had to always want to be, you went to seminary, this, that. He was like, nah, man, when I was 19, I had a scholarship to play baseball. He said, and I got a young lady pregnant. I had to redirect my life. I didn't get the opportunity to go play baseball. It sent me down the road in terms of my spiritual development. Now I'm a pastor, right? Blessing, but came in the form of several lessons, right? Keep your perspective open. We'll say that again. Keep your perspective open to catch the lesson and the blessing. Yeah, man. I got you.
Like even just sitting here.
Right on.
Come on.
Right, right.
You know this is not something I ever envisioned, thought about, since I was 15. All I wanted to do was coach ball and teach math.
Yes, indeed.
Influence young people.
That's a fact.
And that was all of what I've done.
Right on.
Right? And you called and asked whatever, okay, let's go. Because anything for you. Because what I had been doing in terms of teaching and coaching and mentoring, then it leads to something else.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, we on the precipice of even taking this serendipity thing to even more heights.
Absolutely.
As we talked about before we started, for our why. The why is to encourage and expose young people to something that they've never seen before and even never even imagined before.
Absolutely.
And that is the way in which we push the culture. That is the way in which we change the world. Absolutely. Right? The way in which we doing it, our way, right? And if other people are picking it up along the way, we are eternally grateful for that. But never in a million years I thought I'd be sitting here.
Right on.
In front of a camera.
Right on, man.
You know, that's never been an aspiration of mine. But hey.
Man, like if I could be honest for a moment, man, like if I could just be honest with y'all, man, like every time I step on the stage, every time I speak, every time I travel, I feel so unworthy, man. Like I feel so unworthy, right? And when I say unworthy, because I never thought, never imagined, right? Never planned to be doing what I'm doing, right? And so the unworthiness is deeply rooted in gratitude, but I never thought. And so it gives me a certain sense of peace in terms of just life, redirection, how things, I'll put it to you like this. When I was a young man and I was traveling to speak, when a plane would get delayed, I would almost want to talk to the pilot, like, bro, let me fly the plane. Like I need to get there, you know what I'm saying? And as you get older, man, and as life goes, when I get delayed or something happens, my perspective lands in a space and place. Okay, life, what are you trying to teach me right now? What's the lesson in it?
That's it right there.
Right? What's the lesson in it? Man, I saw a video and it was like, man, if you need patience, you think the creator just gonna give you patience? Or is the creator gonna give you situations to develop your patience? Right? If you need to grow in certain areas, you think they just gonna give you whatever tool you need to grow? Or they're gonna give you people, situations, and circumstances that helps you grow, right? And so for me, man, every time I step on that stage and do what I do, it's deeply rooted in gratitude because I never imagined. That's the lesson and that's the blessing in it.
Yeah. It's like giving a first grader a bachelor's degree. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through the steps in order to get the patience, in order to get whatever it is that the universe is saying that you need for your own development.
Yeah.
You cannot skip the steps. You got to paint every corner of this portrait.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of cats, we like to paint, oh, that thing is cute. But then what about the details here, the details there, the details in that corner?
Yes,
right?
sir.
That's walking through and stepping through every single process of this journey.
Yes, indeed.
For your patience, for your mastery at whatever you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's going to be times when those lessons are going to be hard, when you don't want to do it, when you're cussing people out about doing it. Yet, if you continue to paint the corners of the picture, eventually those lessons turn into a picture of a blessing.
Yeah, man, I'm picking that up. Question for you, what season
Answer for you.
would you say you're in life right now? What season would you say you're in? Just as a man, father, what season would you say you're in?
I do I think a decent job of compartmentalizing. So if I would say, like, as a man in general, middle of August, man, and we got a barbecue going. We're gonna fry some fish later on that night.
Yeah.
Music playing and just enjoying like the old bull, beginning stages of the old bull, where I'm able to look at things, see the places where I fail, see the places where I'm failing, see the places where I'm growing, see, just very introspective and reflective.
No doubt. No doubt.
As an educator and mentor, I think late spring, there's some things that I'm picking up and things that I'm learning that are aha moments and aha situations that that I hadn't thought about before. Like, and not even having thought about it before, because life, with the technology age, with the social media and all of that, just trying to get in front of it so I can assist young folks in their process of moving through life.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And that's even as a father as well. As a husband, shit. Winter, desolate, I suck.
Hilarious, bro.
We ain't even planting no seeds yet, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the seasons keep coming around, and every time you think, well, just like the season, every time you harvest something, you think you got it. It ain't one thing, it's another. Here we go. And it's me now. I'm not talking about a significant other.
Right on. Right on. Right on.
I'm saying me.
Right on.
I suck, bro. And part of that is experiences, unlearning and relearning, unbecoming and becoming.
Picking that up.
In terms of because things you were taught as a youngster, it worked then.
Yes, indeed.
But time changed.
Yes,
you
indeed.
change. Other people change. People are, especially in terms of relationships, it's always revolving.
Yes, indeed.
And if I can just get to the springtime of a relationship, well, I'm winning.
Yes, indeed.
I always seem to get right to spring and then start my butt back over in the winter. I ain't got to the summer yet. I ain't picked no watermelons. I ain't ate no green tomatoes. I ain't fried none. No, I ain't even got there, man.
Yes,
but
indeed.
I'm going to. I'm working hard at it.
No question.
You know
Always
what I'm saying?
gonna work at it.
What about you, boss?
Man, I'm in a season to where I've encountered a lot of my methods, a lot of my advantages have become my disadvantages, but in a weird way have served me well in terms of just my press for growth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like what you said, like when you're raised a certain way and you do things a certain way and they serve you well and they work out, and then you encounter situations and you find yourself in uncharted territory with things that you don't have the tools for. And then you try to work and navigate your way through it with old tools, old methods, and old habits, and they land you in no man's land. And so I've encountered a lot of situations just as a father, as a husband, as a leader, to where my advantage has become my disadvantage, but the blessing in that is it's introduced me to things in terms of my press for growth as a husband, as a father, as a man, that's been beneficial for my development, right? Like, it seemed as if in this season, every time I feel like I pass a test, another one come. I'm talking about as soon as I pick my head up, I'm like, it feel like as soon as I get my paper back, they're like, all right, B plus. I'm like, bet. Another test rolling around, right? And I feel like where there's tests, there's growth, right? You can't grow without tests, right? And so we don't resist them. We don't run from them. We don't retreat. We fight, we navigate, and we find a way through it in order for us to grow and become the individuals that we feel we're destined to become. And so I feel like, man, I'm in a season to where the advantages have become disadvantages, but it's opened me up in terms of my press for growth to find new methods, new habits, and new things to help me in terms of the individual I'm striving to become. Yeah.
And so when you say, like, it has helped you to become the individual that you're becoming, right?
Right, the press, yep.
So we have tools, you said methods, habits. And they're only good and they're only useful up to yesterday.
Yeah, definitely.
Because today it's gonna require a new set of tools or sharpening those tools, a new set of methods, a shifting in the habits.
Absolutely.
Right? So the test come. Test can be the storm, when the storm comes, right? The anchor of a storm is your character. So regardless of however long it takes you to sharpen your tools or find the other tools, however long it takes you to develop new methods to make it through, to weather this storm, regardless of how long it takes you.
Talk about it.
if you anchor down in your character, you're not going to be moved.
Teach.
And then once the water settles, the water settling is you finding new methods.
Yeah, man.
You finding new tools. You're finding different habits and ways of doing things. You're shifting the perspective.
Yeah.
Then now you lift that anchor up and you can sail on, right?
Lift that up.
Then when the storm comes again, when you got to shift the way in which you talk to your son, when you have to shift the way in which you talk to your wife, when you shift the way in which you have to navigate through life, when you and your mom may not be on one accord today, whatever life is presenting you, right? Drop your anchor.
Drop your anchor, baby.
Right? When you drop your anchor, that's you locating your ego, right? Where's my humility right now? Let me find the wisdom in this. Let me see what the lesson is in this. All of those are examples of dropping your anchor because the storm is coming.
Believe that.
You don't have to beat the storm. You got to weather the storm. Right? Guess what?
Hey, look, they say you ain't got to win all your fights. You got to fight them, though.
Right. You got to fight it.
Teach.
And what happens is, because you were born, you're going to win. You're going to win.
It's your birthright.
It's your birthright to win, right? But the thing is, how do you maneuver through? Sometimes you don't have to maneuver through. You just have to endure through.
There it is.
Drop
There it
your
is.
anchor. And what that is your character. What is it that you stand on? Just lean into that right there. Then I promise you, by and by, when the storm passes over, there's going to be joy in the morning, as the old folks say.
That's what they say, huh?
Yep.
Now, I'm picking that up, bro. I'm picking that up. What do you look for or focus on in times when you're less than your best? Like, what do you look for? Or what do you focus on? You know, oftentimes people will use failure, right? When you fail or come up short, when you less than your best, what do you look for or what do you focus on? I know every situation is different, but just internally, mentally, what do you look for and focus on?
I make a mayonnaise sandwich.
Yeah, talk about it.
I can't stand mayonnaise, right? But I love myself some bread.
I don't like mayonnaise either.
Man, I know.
We got that in common, man. I don't rock that mayonnaise.
So I make a mayonnaise sandwich, and what I mean by that is that bread, I focus on what did I do well? What worked? What are the places where I was my best in this situation?
Yeah.
Right? Then next, the mayonnaise is, man, I messed up. I got to own it. And what I mean by own it is, especially like in relationships, and most of the time, I'm less than my best in relationships. And what I mean by that, my relationship with coaching football, my relationship with being a teacher, my relationship with being a mentor, my relationship with being an administrator, my relationship with being a brother, a son, a husband, my relationships, meaning how do you relate to the world?
Yeah.
Right? How was I less than my best? And what I have to do is own it.
Yes, indeed.
And when you own it, you got 4 A's that you got to pick up. You got to acknowledge that you were less than your best.
Talk about it.
You got to apologize that you were less than your best.
Yes, sir.
You got to account that you were less than your best. And most importantly, you got to atone.
Gotta atone, baby.
For being less than your best.
Gotta
And atone is the most important one because that means I'm going to do the work to get to the other slice of bread.
Teach.
Of this mayonnaise sandwich.
Teach, yo.
Right?
Teach.
So I have to acknowledge, apologize, account, and then atone. That's the mayonnaise, because that sometimes can be real hard.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Picking that up.
It's like swallowing vinegar or something, right? It can be real hard. But then on the backside of that, it's that good bread on the backside.
Yes, indeed.
So when I'm less than my best, I go through that process. What did I do well? Then now let me walk through owning it, through these stages of owning it.
Yeah.
And that may take a while, brother.
No question. It's a process.
That may take a while. Sometimes, depending on how less than your best you were, you know, may take a day, may take a week, it may take some years.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But if you get to the place of atonement, meaning you're invested in rectifying the situation, doing the work We acknowledge it in our heads. We apologize with our mouths, right? We account for it by taking ownership or taking it internally, like, okay, this is the piece that I played. Now, you got to do the work. Mm-hmm. If you don't do the work, then the other three don't really matter. Mm-hmm. You got to atone.
You know, man, the thing that I
but hold on, and then lastly, but once you do that, then you got to leave it.
Got to leave it. Pick it up.
Right? Or in the case of the analogy of the mayonnaise sandwich, now you just got to eat all of it. Mm. It's gone. Mm. It's done. Next.
What I often focus on, Oak, man, when I'm less than my best, is I always fall back on my communication. Mm. Right? Like, and the reason I fall back on my communication is because one of the things that I think about, and me and you discussed this at one point, you know, when we deal with people or we deal with situations and circumstances, and we think about our actions, oftentimes we very seldomly think about what other people may be going through or dealing with. And so one of the things that I think about when I'm often less than my best is, did I unintentionally hurt anybody? Mm. Right? Because the thing that I'm learning, man, like, you can do things for the right reason and still inflict a lot of pain.
Sure enough.
Like, you could do things for the right reason, but you can inflict a lot of pain if it doesn't land right. And so oftentimes when I'm less than my best, like, you can have the right motives, you can want to do something so bad, you can want to accomplish something so bad, but it just may not be the time. Mm-hmm. It just may not be the season. They just might not be on that type of time, right? They might got other issues, other priorities right now. And if you try to force it, you'll end up hurting somebody, and it'll change your perception and perspective about somebody or something, and that's not true. It's just not the time. You know what I'm saying? The priorities may be different. The season that they're in may be different. And so I go back and I always check my communication. And so I'll ask an individual something twice, not because I'm just trying to ask it I'm just trying to work on my communication, right? Like, bro, when I said this, or when I responded that way, or when I did this, like, I met some cats. I flew into Philadelphia, went to Atlantic City, New Jersey, and I came in town around midnight. I'm talking to some cats. My engagement was in a casino, right? I get in town around midnight. I gotta be up, sound check, 8 a.m. the next morning, right? I'm in passing, trying to get to my room, and cats were stopping me in the lobby. They was talking to me. And, you know, in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what they on.
Right.
I'm in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Cat can be trying to run a play on me right now. They see me, see my arm. They can be trying to finesse me. Anything can happen. It's a lot of people in the lobby. And so when I respond, we talking in dialogue. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to get to my room. Got to speak the next morning, whatever. And one of the dudes is like, man, my man sound mad aggressive. You know, they from up north or whatever. They like, my man sound mad aggressive. He talking to us. And I was like, man, I apologize, bro. I apologize. I wasn't trying to come at you like that. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to get to my room, man. It's late. But I was trying to establish a certain energy because of the environment.
Right.
And when he said it, he was like, nah, bro, I'm gonna be at the engagement in the morning too. I was like, bet, man, I'll see you in the morning. Mm-hmm. But I apologized to him first, but I had to go back and check my communication method because in that moment, I was less than my best. I ain't had to respond to y'all like that. And so in moments when I feel like I'm less than my best or I'm encountering that space and place, I always be like, Ink, check your communication, man. For you hurt somebody that don't deserve it, you know?
Right. And when you was telling it, the thing that I gathered or what caught my ear was when brother man said, like you were aggressive.
Yeah,
he said you were aggressive.
You know? Man, talk, that's aggressive.
I can't mimic the New York, New Jersey and feeling them vibe, you know, the way in which they talk, but he said you were aggressive. So it wasn't, you know, as humans, what makes us the highest form on earth, if you will, of the animals and whatever, is our ability to use words. Mm-hmm. But within those words, it wasn't the words.
Right.
It was the aggression that he felt.
Right. That
you were giving off. Right. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about communication is not necessarily words.
Right.
It's your pitch. It's your intonation. Mm-hmm. It's your tone.
Yes.
right?
Disposition.
Right, the way in which your body language, you know, all of that goes into communication.
Absolutely.
So making sure that when, you know, a lot of times people would say, well, I said what I said, or I said it this way, or I said this, but you didn't say it in a gentle, kind, loving way.
Right.
Right? You can say some nice words, but if your disposition is off, I don't receive it that way.
That's a fact.
Right? If your tone is off, I don't receive it that way.
That's a fact.
You wake up in the morning and you speak to somebody good morning, even if I'd rather for you not even just speak to me if you're gonna be like, good morning. Don't even say nothing to me, man.
Check this. Me and Allison was at Chick-fil-A yesterday. Allison said she did not have the Chick-fil-A spirit.
Right.
Lady at the drive-thru, she did not have the Chick-fil-A spirit.
And that's what we remember.
No question.
That's what resonates. That form of communication is what resonates in our spirits. So that's just making sure that when we think about it, when you're communicating, when we're communicating with each other, that we keep our tone, our intonations, and our pitch and our disposition in a place that is the best that we can give.
That's real. Because, like, I think about, like, when people used to say, when I was young, if somebody would say, man, I hurt your feelings, or if somebody would say, man, my apologies, bro, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You receive that totally different.
Well, I was about to swing on you.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You ready to get it popping. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't something wrong with me for my feelings being hurt.
Right. Pick it up, man. Pick it up.
You know, and there are people that we give that off.
No question.
As though, you know, you're wrong for being hurt. You're wrong for being sad. You're wrong for being disappointed.
Right. Like it's my fault. Right. Yeah.
For that my feelings hurt. Come on, man. We can't do 1, 2 in the.
Yeah, buddy. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 ain't enough no more. Yeah, man.
I mean, being in all seriousness though, that's not cool though, for real.
Yeah.
That's not cool to come off. So your communication is definitely hella important, but understanding the different forms of communication. You know, information is not communication.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'm picking it up. On this day, Oak, what are you most grateful for?
In this moment, my family.
Yeah.
My family, my extended family, my blood family, my decided to be family, just the people in my circle.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Some I get very frustrated with, some I in the moments just lift me up to no end. Sometimes they know it, sometimes they don't know it. But just knowing that I have a tribe.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Although you don't pick up the phone, you know what I'm saying? JD, being with JD every day, man, it's been a blessing. For real. Cause that energy that like brings me back to Kirkwood, brings me back to when we were doing the thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to cuss, but doing the thing, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I get that, and that's be the first thing, like we hug in the morning, and it's like, boom, it's like a battery charge. Let's go get it.
Yeah.
Type deal. So just having people in my life that pour into me.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm able to pour into other people, but I know what I receive and from my folks.
It's dope, man.
And come on, I'm grateful for the texts I receive, like from listeners, from phone calls,
talk about it,
from listeners just randomly, or they'll text and, hey, what you got going on? Can you talk for a second? We chop it up. Like I leave those conversations more invigorated.
Yeah, man.
You know, and so it's almost like the universe knows what you need when you need it.
Right on.
You know what I'm. So I'm grateful just to be in the midst of a tribe that is supportive, that the negativity is way over yonder somewhere. The judgment is way out yonder somewhere.
Yeah.
It's the support, the love, the energy, and just being in the midst of that. That's what I'm mostly grateful for.
Yeah. Yeah. I second that, man. I want to say this before I get into my gratitude, man. It's dope, man, that like a lot of y'all don't know, or maybe some of y'all do, like Oak been teaching a long time, right? And when he speaks to like JD was my classmate, my partner, grew up together, we played ball together. Oak coached both of us, 8th grade team. And like now they get to impact lives together every day,
Yep.
you know, in the schoolhouse. Like, man, that's one of the dopest things ever, man. I respect that. Like to have somebody that you taught, somebody that you mentor, you molded, and now when they get to a certain space and place in their life, they beside you teaching and doing the same work, like that's to be commended. That's dope, man. That's a different level of dope, man. But man, gratitude for me, Oak, like, man, Oak, like, man, I'm so grateful, man. My prayer, I was in a silver Lexus RX 350. I had over 300,000 miles on it. And my prayer was at the time, like, God, I don't have to be the best speaker in the world, none of that. I just want to be effective. I said, but the work that I do, if a family sits down to watch it, let something that comes out of my mouth penetrate the father, the son, the daughter, the mother. Like, let everybody that watch it get something from it. If people take time out of their lives to sit down and watch something that I put out into the world, let everybody get something from it, God. Like, just let my work be effective. And so whenever I run into a father, man, and he says like, hey, man, I sat down and I watched this with my son.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes,
or a
sir.
mother, hey, I showed my daughter this. Like, we was talking about that, a lady yesterday. Man, I'm like, man, that's confirmation for me. Like, I'm so grateful for that, right? When I sit with my children, they tell me about somebody at school was watching something. It's always a joke to them. You know what I'm saying? They joke, Daddy, let me tell you about when you said this and that. It's a joke to them. But it feels so good to me, man. Right? The part that's the most fulfilling and the part that I'm most grateful for, Oak, is just that God had a greater plan in mind, bro.
Yes, sir.
So every day, I'm dead serious when I say it. Every day, man, I'm trying to stay out of his way, man.
Yeah.
Do my work, sow my seeds, stay out of God's way, let God do what he do, right? But I'm grateful I get to do what it is that I feel I'm blessed to do. Grateful for my wife, man. A lot of sacrifices. Grateful for my wife. Grateful for my children. Grateful for my wife the first time I came to her with that coffee mug. That's why I keep a coffee mug around me. People don't know that. I don't drink coffee. I don't. I keep a coffee mug around me because the first thing I got from my first speaking engagement was a coffee mug. It wasn't a check. Wasn't no, here go $500. It was a coffee mug. And I walked back in the house to my wife at 3 a.m. She like, what you get, Ink? What they give you? Like, how did it go? I'm like, it went great. They gave me this cool coffee mug. And she like, oh, you sure this what you supposed to be doing? I'm like, yeah. She like, go for it. I don't just have one of them. I got these all around my crib. Because when I see that coffee mug, it's a reminder of where I started.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? When I see that coffee mug, it's a certain level of humility at the bottom of that coffee mug, no matter what type of check they give me, no matter what type of money I make, no matter who I speak to, I always revert back, bro. Your first engagement, when you first started and you was chasing passion, purpose, and obedience, you got a coffee mug. God started me with a coffee mug. God didn't start me with a $10,000 check. God didn't start me with a $50,000 check, not $100,000. God gave me a coffee mug and said, this is the work you want to do? Coffee mug. I took that coffee mug, I'm 18 years later. I'm grateful for that coffee mug, bro. I ain't start with no check. I started with a coffee mug. I'm grateful, Oak. I'm grateful.
I hear you, boss.
Yeah.
I love that you said the humility at the bottom of the cup.
No doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, man. Let's land this plane, man. I got
sure.
a word for you, doctor. With my word that I just wrote it down.
I ain't got no word.
Hey.
I ain't got nothing.
Uncertainty.
Anything is possible. It's the first thing I think about when I hear the word uncertainty. Because as you were saying, it allows you to get out of God's way.
Yes, sir.
But it also allows you to get in God's way.
Oh, better believe it.
Right? Because you're uncertain, meaning we don't know. So we have a choice, right? We can choose A, we can choose B.
Yes, sir.
We can choose to, okay, because I'm uncertain and I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, I don't know what the next moment is going to bring, let me search for certainty rather than search for the Creator.
Yeah, man.
Or
Pick that up.
in the moment of uncertainty,
Pick that
I
up.
can search for the Creator and then hear what it is I'm supposed to be doing or even not doing.
No doubt.
And let the moment be the moment, let the next moment be the moment, let the next moment be the moment. And I follow whatever the path, whatever the words are, whatever the directions are. Not the directive, but the directions, right? And then that uncertainty becomes a level of certainty. And now I move to my next level and my next stage of uncertainty.
Yeah, man.
Everything is cyclical.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like, okay, I'm uncertain now, and then once I get the certainty of it, everything is going to be all good. No, it's going to be another issue, situation of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because this is now you building up your character muscles. You're building up your humility muscles.
Teach.
You're building up your grateful muscles.
Teach, yo.
Right? You're building up your faith muscles. You go work out one time?
Right.
You go work out twice a week?
Right.
No. Like your physical muscles are getting bigger and bigger because you're working out, right? But your emotional muscles got to be worked out.
Yeah, man.
So once you go through uncertainty, you get certain, then uncertainty is going to come again. That's what I mean by any and everything is possible in the moment of uncertainty.
Yeah, man. Okay, I want you to break something down because one of my partners asked me this. He was like, tell Oak to let me know that directions and directives, like break that down for them so they can know how you explain that, how you expound upon that. When you say not the directions, the directives.
So direction, when you're given directions, you have, based off of who you are, I can give you directions to do something, I can give someone else directions to do something, and I can give another person directions to do something.
Right.
You all are going to do them differently because it's going to be a manifestation of who you are as a person.
No doubt.
So I believe the universe and the Creator gives each and all of us, we're unique in the directions that we receive.
Right.
A directive is you pick up this water bottle. Simone, you pick up this water bottle. Right? Keyshawn, you pick up this water bottle. Oh, you pick up this water bottle.
Yeah.
What we're going to do? We're going to pick up this water bottle.
Right.
There's nothing unique in that directive.
No doubt.
There's no manifestation of your uniqueness in following directives.
Yes, indeed.
Following directions give you the opportunity to grow. It's just a cool way, I think, the Creator pushes and presses you to grow for you to see who you are.
Pick that up.
Right? So the directions, it's almost like, again, it's like if I'm playing quarterback. The directions are 3 steps. You scan the field, right? Boom, make the throw. The directive is 3-step, throw it there.
Yeah. Picking that up.
Well, I'm telling Lamar Jackson to make 3 steps and throw it there when he can bust out to the left through this C gap right here and go to the house.
Right. Easy.
The directions are take the 3 steps.
Right.
The directive is take the 3 steps and throw it there. Directions, take the 3 steps and make the play.
Yeah.
You got the construct, you know what the concept is, right? So the direction, it allows you to be uniquely you and to manifest and grow. Directive is for the person who's giving the directive.
Yeah.
Directions are for the persons who receiving the direction.
Pick it up, baby. Pick it up.
I hope that was clear.
I love it, bro. Love it. Uncertainty. Quote by the great Mandy Hale. Trust the wait. Embrace the uncertainty. Enjoy the beauty of becoming. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. I'm gonna run it back. Trust the wait. Embrace the uncertainty. Enjoy the beauty of becoming. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. Uncertainty. Thank you for your time, man. Greatly appreciate it. Peace.
Serendipity, man, tune in.